Last week, our focus was on adding and subtracting. This week, our focus is on multiplying. Why, you might ask, we're not combining multiplying and dividing? It's because while adding and subtracting, the rules are very similar, multiplying and dividing, the rules aren't quite as similar, so therefore we're going to keep them separate. We'll do dividing next week. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is the box method and estimation, but we're going to use those in combination with the distributive property. So our distributive property definition is when we expand a term into smaller parts and then we share them amongst all other parts. So I did this with some of you last week, or 2 weeks ago actually, when we were talking about just getting things combined together when they started to look a little bigger with our GCF and LCM, so we wouldn't have to use a calculator necessarily. So we're going to use that today. So our rules for multiplying with positive and negative numbers, whether they're fractions, decimals, or integers. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, the answer is negative, which is going to look like this. If they're two positive numbers, the answer is positive. If one's positive and one's negative, whether it be the first one positive, second one negative, or vice versa, the answer is negative. And then if both of them are negative, the answer is positive. So that being said, let's try a few problems. I want to use this box method or distributive property. I'm going to show you both ways. I'm going to do the box method first. And what the box method does is we take it and break the numbers into parts that are smaller. I like to use 20s because I know that I can do my 20s pretty easily. So I'm going to take 64 and break that into 20, 20, 20, and 4. So 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 4. And then I'm going to break 87 into 20, 20, 20, 20, and 7. So 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 7. And we make our box here. And everywhere there's a plus sign, I make a line. Now I know some of you are going to be resistant to trying this simply because it looks like a lot of work, but this is very slick, and I know a lot of you struggle with your multiplication, which was evident when I worked with you in class, so this makes it a lot easier. So 20 times 20, that's 400, and I know that because 2 times 2 is 4, and there's 2 zeros, so I'm going to fill in all the 20 by 20s with 400. Which takes care of most of our multiplication. And this might look like a lot to you, but it'll make more sense when we get there. 20 times 4 is 80. And then we have 20 times 7, which is 140. And 7 times 4 is 28. So now when I take a look at this, I need to add this all up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 sets of 400. 12 times 4 I know is 48. And then I add 2 zeros, so that's 4,800. And then I've got 340s. Well, 100 plus 100 plus 100 is 300. 40 plus 40 is 80, so that's 380 plus another 40 is 420. Then I've got 4 80s, which 8 times 4 is 32 plus a 0, so 320, plus this 28. So then we add those up. We got 8, 2, 4, 6. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 8 is 15. Carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So that's 5,568. Now, I'm not saying you can't go the traditional route of long multiplication. However, a lot of you I know struggle with long multiplication. Now the second one, 39 times 53. This one, you can break it into, I know that the answer is going to be negative, so I'm just going to circle it so I remind myself. I'm going to break 39 into 30 plus 9 and 53 into 50 plus 3. And then the distributive property comes into play in that we're going to take 30 times 50 and 30 times 3, 9 times 50, and 9 times 3. So 30 times 50, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2 zeros, so that's 1500. 30 times 3 is 90. 9 times 50, 9 times 5 is 45, plus a 0 on the end is 450, and 9 times 3 is 27. So then I take 1500 plus 450, which is 1950, plus 90, which is 2040, plus 27 is 2067. Now, our last problem is a word problem. We have Mr. Hyland. He's ordering sweatshirts for the school store. They sell for $18 each, and he buys 75 of them. And we want to know how much money he spent. So we're going to take our 75 times 18, which I'm going to use the distributive property, which a lot of you are probably going to resort to because it's shorter or less writing anyways. And that's 70 plus 5 times 10 plus 8. When I go ahead and distribute 70 times 10, 7 times 1 is 7 plus 2 zeros, 700. 70 times 8, 7 times 8 is 56 plus a 0 is 560. 50 times 10, 5 times 1 is 5 plus a 0 is 50. And 5 times 8 is 40. Well, I see that I can group 560 plus 40, which is 600. 700 plus 600 is 1300. Plus 50 is $1,350. The next step that I have for you is to go ahead and we're going to work with fractions in the next video.